So this is just a little quick video. Was tagged by Scott the Centurion, and it's kind of my 5 fragrances that make me feel confident, or 5 Eff You fragrances, kind of, fragrances that just make you feel good and yeah, confident. So here's my list. First up on the list is quite an obvious one, quite an easy one to say really, and I think you've kind of, it'll be on most people's lists, and that's Sahara Signature Pour On. Now I've described this one before as kind of the fragrance that makes me think of my dad, and obviously my dad, a bit like me, he's not a cocky person, but he's a guy you respect. He's fairly quiet, he's fairly, well, he's talkative when you get to know him like me, but he's a fairly reserved chap, but he's quietly confident. What he's good at, he certainly knows a lot about, and once you get him started on that, he never shuts up. But obviously when you think of your dad, you think of somebody confident, somebody outgoing, somebody in control, not in a controlling way, but you know what I mean. We respect our, well, I wouldn't say all of us, but I respect my dad anyway. He's earned it. So Sahara Signature Pour On, well, it's basically, it opens quite like a classic fougere. It doesn't last long, but it's got a lot of herbaceous notes in it, and they kind of start to settle down, and you get the deep resinousness from a lot of resins, obviously. And there are an awful lot of notes in this, so I'm not going to go through them all, it wouldn't serve any purpose, but it's just kind of this modern classic. It's very beautiful, it's very striking, it's not in your face, it's not loud, but it makes me feel like a grown-up, not just a grown-up, a successful grown-up who's got his shiz together. So that's the first one, Signature Pour On. Next on the list is a fragrance I'll be able to start wearing again as it cools down. As you can see, we're a bit of an Indian summer at the moment, so it's quite mild and pleasant. But it's Swedoff's Bohemian. Now this could be considered quite a divisive fragrance. It is very bombastic. It's not obnoxiously loud, but it does leave a huge cloud around you. And this is one that you'd wear for something like, I don't know, an important business meeting, or when you've really got to kind of make an impression and you need to be confident. And I think you need a bit of confidence to wear it. But it's basically, to me, it's like a boozy kind of leather. Not boozy like your pure malt kind of sweet boozy. It's got these hints of, to me, whiskey, kind of dried fruits, malty kind of thing, mixed with this leather and this oud and all these dense heavy woods. It's quite a ginormous fragrance really, and as you can imagine from them notes, it's completely unapologetic, but it's very smoothly blended. It is very classy. For the first hour or so, you know, people probably won't want to stand too close to you, not because it stinks, just because it is it pushes out quite a lot. It's actually a really elegant, wonderful fragrance, and it shows you can make a strong fragrance that isn't just obnoxiously synthetically sweet in your face. It just sells loads because it's beast mode and lasts forever. This is not what this fragrance is. It is very classy, it's very sophisticated, and even if you want to take it, I mean, it's Swedoff, so it comes from Sweden where they have a cooler climate, so a stronger fragrance would work differently than it would here in a, well, I hate to call the UK a warmer climate because it's not, but yes, it's a brilliant fragrance. That's Swedoff. Next on the list is a bit of a change. Look how gorgeous it is. From them sort of very powerful fragrances, it's very strong again, was more on the sweet side, and that is the first Killian, maybe the only Killian you'll see on the list, and that's Love Don't Be Shy, which of course we all know is that beautiful, magical, sweet, dense orange blossom. And again, it definitely announces its appearance. You kind of got to be kind of a bit confident to wear something quite so strong and bold, super sweet. It's going to get you attention. People are going to want to sniff you. It's also going to bring people close. People are really going to enjoy it. It's just orange blossom at its best, really. Beautiful fragrance. Don't need to go on about it. We all know what it smells like. Killian's Love Don't Be Shy. So next is Rosa Salas Pacho Oud, which is one that is definitely for the cooler weather. It's like the name suggests, it's like this bombastic mix of patchouli and oud mainly. Now it's sometimes this one wears very differently on me from time to every time I wear it. Sometimes it can be more focused on the oud is there, and it's a little bit. It's not I hate describing it like that. It's not particularly fecal or anything like that, but it is a tiniest hint of skank, and then that kind of smooths out into a pleasant oud, and it does run through it all for me. Also, there's quite for the first half an hour or so, it's quite a nice fruity brandy kind of fruity, booziness running through it, but not a sweet fruity, that kind of dried fruitiness, and that obviously it comes and goes through the fragrance. But obviously the main thing of it is the patchouli. Now sometimes the patchouli can be quite sweet in bits, or sometimes it can go ultra earthy on me, and it's quite noticeable. Sometimes it goes quite dark and it gets quite cokey, actually Coca-Cola-y kind of through it. It's an interesting fragrance, but it has such a presence. This is for a very confident person. It's all around you, and it's fairly unique, to be fair. It's unique, and it is lovely, and it's so smoothly blended. A fantastic fragrance, and definitely announces you here, and with its uniqueness, just a great fragrance. That's Rosa Salas Pacho Oud. Next on the list is Hugo Boss Dark Blue. Now the reason I picked that one and not Hugo, which I wore for work, which you think could give me confidence, is Dark Blue seemed to be the one in the younger days when this sort of thing matters, kind of attracted the ladies, so to speak. So it gave me a lot of confidence. Now there's so many notes in it, it's not worth going through it all, but it's like a sweet mandarin, resins, vanilla, just a whole heck of a lot of notes, and it's basically like a sweet, beautiful, cozy, warm, fun fragrance. Now it's of its time. It does smell like back in the 2010s and earlier, but it's just a beautiful, easy to wear fragrance. That's like many bosses, is completely overrated, but even when I wear it now, still kind of think, yeah, I must smell good. Everyone will be wanting to come and buy me a drink. Yeah, I wish. But no, it still gives me that confidence, and it obviously, going back in time to our youth, when we were confident, when we were a bit more outgoing and such like, always gives us a little burst of confidence. So that's Hugo Boss. So that was just a little kind of list of fragrances that make me feel confident. I think the kind of moral of the story is if you feel it suits you, you will feel confidence, and that's again the power of smell and scent, isn't it? It can invoke all these emotions in us, and that's quite something powerful, that to spray something and know, to feel it in yourself. I smell good, I smell fantastic. Everybody's going to think I smell great. They might take me more seriously. I feel good. It's that feeling good about yourself thing, isn't it? That ultimately exudes confidence. Thanks Scott for the tag anyway, and I believe it was Aussie Marks originally. So anybody else, what about you? What fragrances make you feel confident?